cheese days and castaways, and welcome to Sarah and Thomas's Survival Guide.
Another week, another thing of Survivor. Let's get right to it.
Okay, starting off with the spectator draft. The only castaway that has been voted out this week is Bobby, and it only affected Noah's draft. So sorry, Noah, your draft is pretty terrible, but that's okay. You know, everyone makes mistakes. You were a great host, but maybe not a great drafter. And nothing else has really changed since last week. There are 15 perfect drafts left still.
Yeah. Let's go on to the Challenge 8, which was the last tribal immunity challenge we had. Castaways had a list of people, objects, and places that they had to take a picture with and score points for their teams. The Flamingos did win, making Brainiacs lose their second tribal in a row. It was a bit interesting. Cassidy carried the team yet again, but we saw a lot of group play from the Flamingos. And with that challenge, we saw Bobby going home. I think a lot of this challenge also revealed a lot of how Izzy's feeling. There's a lot of hostility towards the Brainiacs and Cassidy specifically.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Challenge 9. It is currently going on still, and it is the Hot Potato Challenge. So both tribes have a little balloon, which is a potato, and they have to protect it, make sure it doesn't pop, and then pass it along to each other throughout the day. It has to stay on a quad, and Cassidy is running this challenge, the orange Cassidy. And yeah, there's been a lot of team bonding, especially for the Brainiacs. They've really been, strengthening their alliances and bonds, and there've been a lot of strategic talks about who to trade, and word of Evan throwing the challenge. I don't know why he would do that. Throwing the challenge is never a good idea, but I'm not a castaway this season, so. And Ricky finally stepped up and has started playing for the team. He's been much more active, so that's pretty good. And yeah, there's also been the introduction of Claudia, which is the Brainiac's potato, and I absolutely love her. She is my new favorite castaway. I hope she wins. So, moving on to the 6th tribal.
So, Tribal 6, as said before, Bobby went home on the Brainiacs. This was all organized by Cassidy, of course, the majority alliance, and it was reasonable. Bobby hasn't participated too much, and if he did, it hasn't been the strongest of participation. A lot could have been improved with Bobby. And that's the only one we've had this week. Yeah, it's been a pretty slow week, surprisingly.
Yeah, the challenges have been a couple days long each. So.
Yeah, quite a bit long.
But for the tribe analysis, next, we had our tribe swap. So that's news. It was the result of the Cookie Clicker Challenge from last week. And Evan and Cassidy got to pick. Most of the alliances stayed the same, except Izzy is now on the Flamingos. And so Rachel, Abby, and Bobby were swapped to the Brainiac side, and then Amy, Izzy, and Will Bruce have moved to the Flamingo side. Rachel and Abby have been being a little bit more active, and Amy and Will Bruce not so much. So I wonder how Evan is feeling about this swap. He hasn't mentioned it too much, but yeah. Weekly highlights.
Yeah. So obviously we had the swap. That's the biggest thing that has happened. Next, we actually have the first reveal of immunity idols. These were made by S2E4, and it's a very unique and interesting chainmail bracelet. Castaways are not going to get hints this season for finding them. Instead, they're just going to have to search around campus and hopefully find them. If they do find them, it has to remain on a person at all times, which is going to really change how it's played. Because last season we saw them stuffed in drawers, and then some people almost found them. That was fun. But now it's going to be a harder game to play. You're going to have to hide this on your backpack or
just wear it. I mean, I think it's cute.
You could wear it. Strategically, it might be a bad idea. But it also is kind of like a big ballsy move, You're like, haha, you can't do anything about me. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see who finds them first, and then if they do, what they're going to do with them.
In other news, there is a new, spectator, person in the Discord, St. DeMarco. I don't really know why all the castaways are freaking out about this, but go off, I guess. They have a like really dark green name, but like, so what? Maybe that's just St. DeMarco's pronouns. You know, green is for ask. So I mean, like, I'm just saying, maybe we should ask St. DeMarco what the pronouns are, because I don't know. But yeah, that's basically it for other news. Now moving on to Castaway of the Week, I'm picking Duncan because of all the pictures he sent of Claudia from last night, you know, tucking her into bed, doing the homework, all of that stuff, eating the snack. I thought it was really sweet, and I'm really glad that, you know, he's stepping it up and the tribe is like bonding and everyone's happy. Yeah.
So my pick for this week is Cassidy again. I think I picked her because she's been putting a lot of activity in for her tribe. She's had to deal with a lot of inactivity, and there's a lot of hostility, specifically with Izzy, and it seems to be like taking a toll on Cassidy, in which I must say, keep going, Chief. You got this. I believe in you. You can do it. You're gonna win. I believe in you, 100%. Honorable mention, Ricky. Thank you for finally stepping up and doing some activity, albeit you're not talking in the right chats. I'm user confessional. But that's going to be all for this week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week then on the next episode.
It's time for me to go strip naked and run across a quad. See you, losers.